Chapter 1. A New Home. They weren't always the railway children. At first they were just Bobby, Peter and Phyllis, 3 children who lived in a big house in London. They didn't get the train very often. They didn't know much about the railway then. Bobby was 14 years old. She was a kind girl, and she always tried to help people. Then there was Peter. One day he wanted to be a train driver, and Phyllis was 8 years old and very curious. The children lived in a beautiful house with their mother and father. Mother was always there. She helped them with their schoolwork, and she read them stories. Father did an important job for his country. He had a lot to do, but after work he always had time to play with the children. Bobby, Peter and Phyllis were very happy. So how did these children become the railway children? The story starts on a very important day. It was Peter's birthday. He was 10 years old. He had a very nice party. There was a lot of good food and nice games to play. But what Peter really wanted was a toy train for his birthday, and that's what he got. It was a beautiful train. He played with it all day. In the evening, Bobby went into Peter's bedroom. She wanted to say happy birthday again. "Are you playing with your train?" she asked. "No, look, it's broken." Peter tried not to cry. "I'm a big boy now, and big boys don't cry," he thought. "Don't worry," said Bobby. "Father is coming home now for dinner. He can help you." At dinner, Peter waited. "I can't ask my father now," he thought. "I must wait and ask him when he finishes his dinner. But please finish dinner soon." When the family finished eating, Peter couldn't wait another minute. "Father, look at my train. What can I do?" "Don't worry, Peter," said Father. "Let's look at it together." "Together?" said Peter. "Yes, me, you, Bobby and Phyllis," said Father. "But they're girls," said Peter. "Girls are clever too, you know," said Father. At that moment, there was a knock at the door. "Who can that be?" said Father. "It's very late. Stay in the dining room, children." Mother and Father went to open the door. The children waited in the dining room. They were very curious. "Who is it?" asked Bobby. "It's strange. People don't usually come to visit in the evening." "I want to listen," said Phyllis. So Phyllis went near the door and tried to listen. She couldn't hear everything. "There are 2 men with Father. They're in the kitchen. Father is talking," said Phyllis. "He's not happy. I can hear more now. They're going outside." "Yes, that's it. Now the men are leaving. I don't know if Father is with them. Yes, they're leaving." Phyllis went back to the table, but only Mother came back into the dining room. "Go to bed now, children," said Mother. "It's late." "But what about my train?" said Peter. "Father isn't here," said Mother. "He had to go to work." "That's strange," said Bobby. "Why does Father have to go to work now? It's late." The children said good night to their mother, and they went to bed. The next morning, the children were ready for their breakfast, but they didn't have breakfast with Mother or Father. They weren't there, but their Aunt Emma was in the kitchen. First, Father isn't here. And now Mother. "What's happening?" thought Phyllis. "Aunt Emma is here. She doesn't tell us stories. She doesn't help us with our schoolwork. She's got no time for children. Mother didn't come home all day. The children went to school. When they came back, there was only Aunt Emma. In the evening, Mother came home. She sat down, and then she said, 'Now, my dear children, I want to tell you something. It's bad news. Father can't come back home for a long time. I'm very worried about this, so you must help me. You must be good. Please don't ask me any questions. Don't worry. Everything will be fine in the end.'" In their bedroom, the children couldn't sleep. "What's happening? Bobby, can you speak to Mother?" asked Peter. "No, we mustn't ask questions. Mother must have a good reason for not telling us. We promised to be good, remember? It's something about Father's job. We have to wait. We can't do anything now." After that, Mother often went out, and Aunt Emma stayed with the children. One evening, Mother came home late. She was very tired. "Now, my children," said Mother, "we're leaving this house. We're going to a new house. It's called Three Chimneys. You'll love it. I know you'll love it." "Everything is changing," thought Bobby. "What next?" "Can I take my toy train?" asked Peter. "Yes," said Mother. "But we can't take everything with us. Three Chimneys is small." The children were worried. Where was this new house, and how small was it? A week later, they were on the train to begin their new life. At first, the children enjoyed looking out of the train window, but soon they were tired. After many hours, the train arrived. They got off the train and looked around. They couldn't see very much. They were cold, tired, and hungry, and it was very dark. "We have to walk now," said Mother. So they walked. They saw a lot of farms, and then they saw a hill. "Where's the house?" asked Peter. "It's up this hill," said Mother. And so they went up the hill. Then they saw a house. "Look, there it is," said Mother. They opened the door. It was very dark and cold inside. Mother had a candle, so they began to see more and more. "I can see some things now," said Phyllis. "There's a table, and I can see some chairs, but there's not much in the room. There's a place for a fire, but there's no coal. That's why it's very cold." "What's that noise?" asked Bobby. "It's only a rat," said Mother. "A rat," said the children, all together. Chapter 2, Peter's Idea. "Wake up," said Bobby. "We're in a new house, remember?" "Yes, a new house with a rat," said Phyllis. "Yes, but it's exciting," said Peter. "I want to go outside. We didn't see much last night. It was too dark." "Yes, I want to go out," said Bobby. So they went into the garden. "It's very green," said Phyllis. "We didn't like that hill last night," said Bobby. "We had to go up with our bags. It's better to go down a hill." So they ran down the hill. "Wait, I can see the railway track and a tunnel," said Peter. "I want to go there." They started running again. Soon they arrived at the track. "It's fantastic," said Bobby. Then they heard a noise. It was from the tunnel. Choo-choo, choo-choo. It was a train, and it was very fast. "That was exciting," said Peter. "It was exciting to be very near a train and see all of it," said Phyllis. "Often at the station, you can't see all of the train at the same time. I want to go to the station now." "Good idea," said Bobby. They followed the track, and soon they arrived. "We usually go to the station to get a train or to meet someone. Today we're here because we want to be here, and it's only us. No mother and no father." The station was an exciting place. There were lots of things to do. At home there were also lots of things to do. They helped to cook and clean the house. "No more rats?" said Bobby. The children were happy. The house, the hill, and the station were new and very interesting. In June it started raining. The children couldn't go out. The house was cold. "Mother," said Peter, "can we have a fire?" "No, dear," said Mother. "We haven't got much coal. Coal is expensive. Go and play. Then you'll be warm again." At dinner time, the children looked at the table. There was bread and butter and jam. "You can have jam or butter on your bread, not jam and butter. We don't have a lot of money," said Mother. No jam and butter, and no coal. This is really bad, Peter thought. At the station there's a lot of coal. Then he had an idea. After dinner, Peter called his sisters. "I've got an idea," he said. "Come with me to the station and bring some bags with you." "All right," said Bobby and Phyllis. When they arrived, Peter put some coal in his bag. "Quick, help me," he said to his sisters. "But stealing is wrong," said Bobby. "We mustn't do this." "We need to do it, Bobby. We need some coal. We're not stealing. There's so much coal here. They don't need it all." "All right," said Bobby. "But we have to be quick." But then they heard a noise. "There you are." It was the porter. "I've got you now, you bad children," he said. "We're not bad," said Peter. The porter had a candle, and he looked at the children. Well, you're the children from Three Chimneys. Why did you do this? Don't you know it's wrong to steal? I didn't think it was wrong, said Peter. There was so much coal. You didn't need it all. We had no coal for a fire. We were cold. Mother was cold. And, well, said the porter. All right, let's forget about it this time. But remember, young man, it's wrong to take something that's not yours. Don't do it again. I promise. Thank you so much, said Peter. We're going home now. The children tried to stay at home, but it was difficult. It was very interesting at the station and very different from life in London. Soon they decided to go back. Only to watch the trains. We mustn't do anything bad again, said Bobby. They went to the station every day, and they learnt all the times of the trains that arrived. The porter's name was Perks. He saw the children every day. I was wrong about those children, thought Perks. They're good, and they're really interested in the trains. One morning the children were near the tunnel. Maybe the next train is going where Father lives now. I really want to see him again, said Phyllis. Me too, said Peter. The 9:15 train is arriving now. We can wave at the passengers. The train went by, and the children started to wave. On this train there was an old gentleman. He had white hair, and he wore a large hat. From a train window, the children saw a hand. This hand held a newspaper. It was the old gentleman's hand. From that day, at 9:15, the children waved at the train, and the old gentleman always waved at them. Maybe the old gentleman knows Father. He can tell him that we wave every day, thought Bobby. The children asked Perks a lot of things, and Perks tried to answer all their questions. They were now good friends. Every day the children went to the station, they stayed with Perks, and they waited for the 9:15 train. One day they couldn't wave at the train. Mother wasn't well. She stayed in bed, but in the evening she didn't feel better. Let's get the doctor, said Bobby. He can help Mother. Soon the doctor arrived. What is it? What's wrong? Asked Bobby. She needs some medicine, said the doctor. The house must be warm, and she needs some good hot food and a lot of tea. All things that are very expensive, thought Bobby. We don't have the money. What can we do? Think, Bobby, think. That evening, the children took a sheet from their bed. What did they do with the sheet? Wait and see. Chapter 3. The Old Gentleman. At 9:15. The next morning, the old gentleman was on the train. He stopped reading his newspaper. Here's the tunnel. We're near the station, he thought. I can wave at those three nice children again. The train came out of the tunnel. He looked out of the window, but he didn't see three children. He only saw one. It was Peter. Peter had a sheet in his hands. There were some words on the sheet. It said, "Look out of the window at the station." The train stopped at the station. The old gentleman looked out of the window. Then he saw Phyllis running to his window. "I thought I was late," she said. Then she gave the old gentleman a letter. Soon the train started again, and he read the letter. "Dear Mr. We don't know your name. Mother is ill. We have to buy some medicine, but we don't have much money. Can you help us? Father isn't here and we don't know his address. Father will pay you when we see him. Here are the things that Mother needs. Thank you so much." The old man looked at the letter again. Then he smiled. That evening at 6 Burs, a big box arrived at Three Chimneys. The children opened the box. Inside, there was some medicine and some other things they needed. There was a letter to the children. "Dear children, here's the medicine. Tell your mother it's from a friend. She'll be better soon. Don't worry." The old gentleman was right. 2 weeks later, the children made another sheet. On this sheet they wrote, "She's better. Thank you for the medicine." When the old man saw it, he smiled and waved at the children again. The train passed, and then Peter said, "Now we have to tell Mother about the old gentleman." The children went home. They told Mother everything, but Mother wasn't very happy. "You mustn't talk to other people about our life. Promise me this." The children promised. They were very sorry. Soon they were happy again. The next day was Bobby's birthday. On the table there were lots of good things to eat and a birthday cake. Bobby was very happy. At the end of the party, Peter gave his sister something. "It's the toy train," said Peter. "I know it's my train, but now it's also your train. We can play with it together." "Thank you, Peter," said Bobby. "You're a good brother. This is a really great day. Thank you, everybody." The next day, Bobby looked at the train. "It's beautiful," she thought. "Peter is really sad because it's broken, but I know what to do." An hour later, Bobby was at the station. She waited for the next train, and when it arrived, she got on. "Excuse me, driver, driver. Can you help me?" she said. But the driver couldn't hear her. "Please, driver, I've got my brother's toy train and it's broken and—" But then the train left the station. "Help me," said Bobby. "Stop the train." The driver still couldn't hear Bobby. "Stop the train." The driver still couldn't hear Bobby. Then the driver saw something. There was a little girl. She was very frightened. "What are you doing here?" said the driver. "You can't stay here. It's dangerous." "I'm sorry," said Bobby. "I've got this toy train. It's my brother's and it's broken. Can you help me? It's really important." The driver looked at the toy train. Then he looked at Bobby. She's only a little girl, he thought. Well, said the driver, I can try. I have a friend. Maybe he can help me, but first we have to take you home. At the next station, Bobby got off the train. The driver helped her to get another train for her town. Well, Bobby, said the driver, I know where you live. I promise to try and help you with your brother's toy train. What an interesting day. Now I can do something nice for my brother, she thought. 2 days later, her brother had a very big surprise. Peter, come to the station with me, said Bobby. Why? Asked Peter. Because I want you to meet someone. It's a surprise, said Bobby. Bobby and Peter went to the station. At the station, there was a man on the platform. Hello, Peter, said the man. I'm a train driver. I know you want to be a train driver one day. Your sister told me. I have something for you. Then the driver gave Peter his toy train. Peter took the train. I can't believe it. A real train driver. My train is new again, said Peter. Thank you. One day, the children were at the station again. They had to meet their mother. When is Mother arriving? Asked Phyllis. Very soon, said Bobby. Let's wait here. She'll be tired, so we can help carry her bags. Then the children heard a strange noise. What is it? Asked Peter. There were a lot of people on the platform. The children could hear Perks. Okay, everybody, said Perks. Please stay back. I need to do my job. Then the children heard another language. It wasn't English, but what language was it? I want to see what's happening, said Bobby. We can help. The children went near the group of people. They saw a man. He had grey hair, and his clothes were dirty. I can speak a little French, said Peter. I learnt it at school. I can speak to him. Okay, said Perks. I don't think he's French, but maybe he understands that language. Parlez-vous français? Asked Peter. The man stopped speaking. Then he started speaking again, but this time he spoke very quickly. He speaks French, but I don't understand, said Peter. Don't worry, said Bobby. Mother will be here soon. Take him to your room. Perks, we can wait for her. Mother can speak French well, and she's on the next train. So they waited, and when Mother arrived, she went to the room. She started speaking to the man. They spoke for a long time. The children watched and waited. Well, Mother, who is he? Asked Peter. He's Russian, said Mother, and he can't find his ticket. Let's take him home with us. Don't worry, he's a nice man. He writes books, beautiful books. I know some of them. I read one the other day. He needs to rest and to be warm. I promise to tell you some more about him tomorrow.